Well, hello there, and welcome to the Mindset Alchemy podcast. I'm Janine, and I am delighted to have you join me today on the Mindset Alchemy podcast. Where have you felt disconnected from yourself, what you're doing, where you're going? What did it feel like? And if you are feeling it currently, ask yourself, where am I feeling it in my body? What's tight in my body? What is feeling compressed in my body? And just gently place a hand or place your attention there and ask it, what would you like to tell me today? And see what comes forward. Maybe nothing, and that's also okay. Very often when working with clients, and they say to me, I don't know. I say to them, well, what if you did know? No, they really don't know. And I say, well, let's say, and that's okay. Because many times we make ourselves wrong because we are unable to immediately get an answer or immediately have a solution. Possibly it's still working its way towards you, and this is the reason you have been unable to access it immediately. That's just one way of looking at it, I know. And anyway, it doesn't matter. So long as it allows you to feel comfortable and to step back into an element of safety. Now, let's circle back to feeling disconnected. One of the primary things I help people with is how to connect again with themselves, who they are, and to connect in the situation that is extremely uncomfortable for them. Because many times it's just a repeat of other situations at a deeper level or a different level. And when we get to recognize this, we get to recognize, oh, look, life showing up to show me where I can shift, what I can change, and where I'm going with it. Because people, we mirror to other people and project through them, they mirror to us and project through us to back to themselves. It's all part of the games we play. Now, when we feel disconnected, very often it's because we've lost our way. We are feeling that I'm a little bit unsure of where to go with this, what to do next. I am at a deep unconscious level feeling that what I'm doing is done, it's finished, and yet there's an uncertainty about letting it go. I think it was about 2 weeks ago, I was given the analogy that the past is like a scorpion. It was at the time of the full moon, so it was whenever it was. This past is like a scorpion. It often has a sting in its tail. When we leave it alone, we're fine. Or when we let it get on its way, we're fine. When we start playing with it, it stings us because we should be looking in the present at the now and saying, well, what's my next best option? What's my next best step? What am I done with? Where am I growing to? And what does this look and feel like for me? Something that came forward to me the other day when I was playing with ChatGPT was people very often hang on to old personas because they are uncertain of what the new one looks and feels like and may feel a little bit unsafe with what they're doing and where they're going. Something I've come to understand is you are allowed to outgrow who you thought you need to be. Let me say that again. You are allowed to outgrow, to release, to let go of who you thought you need to be. Now remember, need is means lack. So you are living up to other people's expectations and anticipations of you, or you feel it might be safer to be that way. It might bring you more of the success, the accomplishment you're looking for. And yet, when you look at it and you can say, I'm done with that. I'm now stepping more into my authentic self, my way of being, and where I'm going. You start feeling more connected to yourself. I know when I had this experience, it was like, wow, my whole body felt like it lit up. I felt light. It was like I was flowing on clouds that I very often see streaming past in the sky above me or out my door there. And when we step into that authentic self, yes, there are people that are going to step away from us, situations that are going to appear like they are blowing up in our faces. What is really happening is we are stepping back into who we are, what our soul is asking us to be currently, and where we can go in a much more authentic way. Yes, we all have different personas, we all have different ways of doing, and many of us live up to what we think we should be rather than who we really are. I know for myself, when I start hearing Janine, who are you now? Oh no, here we go again. That song, here we go again. And it's fascinating to me that as I explore it, I step into it, I say, okay, I can let go of this, I can let go of that. Oh, look, let me upskill myself here. Let me allow this part of myself out there. And it just comes together. And so many times people will say to me, Janine, you glowing on your Facebook lives, your TikToks, wherever this podcast. And it literally is because as we reconnect with ourselves, or as we connect with our newer self, our next self, we do light up because our body and our soul are going, yay, they've got it, they've got it. Hey, Professor Higgins in My Fair Lady, by Jove, she's got it. And I sometimes feel like my guidance is doing a Professor Higgins and going, by Jove, she's got it. And it feels so incredibly satisfying, especially many times because I've been journaling, playing with it, doing audits on myself, my business. And when I help clients to do this, I can see their resistance. I feel their resistance, and I absolutely understand that resistance, having walked through it myself on many occasions. And people, that's when we go, resistance, release, release, resistance, resistance, release. And know that resistance helps us to grow. How do we grow our muscles? We have resistance. We walk against gravity. We do squats. We do physical things. Well, in the emotional and the spiritual and the growing within ourselves, we get to do this as well. What the resistance is that we are releasing is the resistance to staying the same, the resistance to remaining where we are, because the world moves around 24 hours a day and 365 and a quarter, or whatever the number is, times a year. Time, life, and ourselves and the seasons keep marching on. And when we resist and say, no, I would like to stay in winter, and spring's coming, guess what? You're going to go into spring anyway. And that's what happens. We're releasing that resistance while we work with the tension of being brought forward into our next season, our next way of being, and a more authentic way of being. It came to me the other day. It's like we're stepping into our inner knowing, our inner wisdom. We're moving towards our second act, our third act, whatever act it is, allowing ourselves to grow, to be, and to explore that authenticity. It does, like I said before, it does feel like the world sometimes is tumbling down. And remember, when you're going to build, you get to clear, you get to take things out of the way, you get to explore so that you can put in better foundations, or dig on the foundations or build on the foundations that are there, not dig on them. And this is the expansion of it. This is the tension of it. And sometimes distractions can be the doorway to our greatest success. What we feel is a distraction may just be a door opening for us to go, oh, oops, look, that was out of alignment. This is much more in alignment. So don't knock distractions. Very often go and explore them and say, are you here for now? Are you here to help me grow? Are you showing me a better way forward? And then allow what comes forward to unfold. Work with it. I work with clients on this. They'll bring me the various options and I'll say, okay, well, let's see what's a better option for you now. What's the best option? Because many times we settle for good and better rather than exploring best. Because one of the other things I work with, I help you connect with yourself. I help you clear those limiting beliefs and the good options and the better options, so you can step into creating with the best options for you at this point in time. Remember, life changes, situation changes. People make different decisions to ones that we anticipated them making. We make different decisions. So life is dynamic, it shifts and it changes. The important thing is when that feeling of disconnection comes along, go and see what you've disconnected from and what you are being asked to connect to. And that's where, if you would like any assistance, reach out and let's see what comes forward to play with you at this point in time. And let's play with it and allow it and explore it. What is due to go home, back to its own home, we wish it goodbye. And what is here to stay, we say, well, what does it look like? Where do we go with it? So that feeling of disconnection is a message for you so that you can connect with what is more aligned at this point in time. Have a beautiful day or evening or whenever you're listening to this. Cheerio!